right, so you live in Illinois. You live in the Chicago metropolitan area. You live in the burbs, and you have been thinking it's about time to get out of Chi-Town, and you are considering Phoenix, Arizona. Well, in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what you can expect when comparing what it's like to live in Chicago proper and moving to Arizona, the good, the bad, the ugly. And really, is it something you want to do? Well, after this video, you are going to know a definite yes or no if Arizona, if Phoenix is for you. So don't go anywhere because we got a jam pack full of video just for you. Hi, my name is Sheryl Willis at the Real Agent Now group right here in Phoenix, Arizona. And if this is the first time to our channel, you're going to want to click that little subscribe button and tap that little bell so that you are notified each and every time we release a new video. We are getting dozens of calls every single day about moving to the Phoenix area, and we love it. If you are thinking about moving to the Phoenix area and you're just trying to find out whether it's the right city for you, the right time for you, or just have some general real estate questions as it pertains to Arizona, you're going to want to pick up that phone, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, even go on to social media. Find me on Facebook, my website, Instagram, links are below. Reach out days, nights, weekends. We got you back when moving to Phoenix, Arizona, and we're getting at you right now. Hello. Okay, so you are moving from Illinois to Phoenix and you want to know what to expect, like the good, the bad, the ugly. Like, what are you going to miss because it isn't here? What are you going to love that you don't experience back home and it's going to be new to you here? There's just so much. It's very different. You know, when I think of Chicago, I think of that history show that says men that created America. Like, I think of Chicago as one of the foundations of the United States that was started building in the 1800s. We were nothing out here, right? We were just a bunch of tumbleweeds. Arizona, the entire western part of the United States, of course, has completely changed since then. And Arizona, in just the last 10 years, has stepped up their game. Let me tell you what you can expect as far as activities. Again, hands down, Chicago has absolutely everything. And I know you guys even have two baseball teams, and I was told that the White Sox were their favorite. But I have to say, the Cubs Stadium, oh yeah, that's right. We have spring training here. There are so many things to do year round. That's the key word, year round in the greater Phoenix area. Everything from live music, concerts, museums, indoor and outdoor. We have festivals for every single thing you can think of. We're talking cultural festivals. We're talking food festivals. We're talking music festivals. We're talking about beer festivals. We're talking flower festivals, art festivals, car shows. Whoa, you want to talk about car shows? Barrett-Jackson. We have sports complexes all over the greater Phoenix area. If you yourself love to get involved in all those different programs, you're going to love all the softball leagues, the basketball leagues, the baseball leagues, the tennis leagues. Oh my gosh, let's keep with the racquetball leagues. We have the world's largest sports complex that had just opened up a few weeks ago in Mesa, Arizona. We have theater. We don't have just one, but we have two symphonies. We have outdoor activities like you cannot believe. Are you ready for this? We have mountains every direction you look. We have trailheads right smack dab in the middle of the city. You could take a break from lunch and you could go hiking just for a few little, miles, grab a little exercise. We love healthy living here in the greater Phoenix area. There's the hiking, there's fishing, there's camping, there's four-wheeling, there's mountain biking, there's motocrossing, there's kayaking, there's canoeing, there's sailing, there's skydiving, indoor and outdoor. There's mountain climbing. Whew, we didn't even talk about the nightlife that is here in the greater Phoenix area. We are talking world-class nightlife. We even have the Super Bowl coming to town because we have some of the most amazing luxury and entertaining activities and venues that you can imagine. We have every pro sports here in the Phoenix area. We have basketball, football, soccer, women's basketball. We have baseball. Like I said, we have spring training where we have 12 teams, the Cactus League that comes out here and dominates our entire greater Phoenix area for 6+ weeks. We have golf like you cannot believe. We have over 200 golf courses within the greater Phoenix area. Are you ready to have things to do? I didn't even cover them all. Let's talk about the big elephant in the room. That would be weather. All right, so it depends on where you would rather spend 9 months out of the year. So you can either be in Chicago and spend 9 months amidst brutal weather where you are indoors 100% of the time. And then 3 months out of the year, you have this amazing thing called summer shy time. Is that right? Well, how about reversing it? How about having 9 months out of the year where you are outdoors, you can go anywhere you want, patios galore, beautiful mountain views. You can be everywhere from on the lake. How about the rivers? You could be hiking. How about just walking in the local parks, even just shopping, like just walking in the downtown district? How about just walking your dog around the block? I'm telling you, 9 months out of the year of absolutely stunning, beautiful, gorgeous weather. What about those other 3 months? Let's talk about those 3 months. So how do I spend those 3 brutal summer months? Yes, it does get to, I haven't seen 120 on the thermostat in a few years, just like you guys are having a global warming of a sort. And so your winters aren't as crazy. We're not getting the crazy summers either. We have maybe longer summers, but we don't have those crazy height 120s anymore. But here's the thing. When it's 105 and it's 108, I'm not going to be mowing my lawn in the middle of the day in the middle of summer. But you know where the kids will be? They're going to be at the park, or they're going to be at the indoor, massive amounts of indoor gymnasiums, trampoline places, amusement parks. We have indoor like hotels with water slides. We have splash pads. We have museums. We have, oh yeah, you're going to be working in your home or your office. Like it's exactly the exact opposite, right? It's not like you stop working in the middle of your snowstorms or living in the middle of your snowstorms, right? We don't stop working and living in the middle of our heat waves. So we just stay inside during the day when it's, kind of warm out. We still go to the gyms that are air conditioning. They're air conditioned. We can maybe take a quick jaunt out to the lake or a quick jaunt up north where it's 20 degrees cooler and go hiking or do something up there. Maybe go on vacation. Everybody goes to Disneyland in July. Seriously, it's literally just a few hours away. I'm telling you, reverse it. And you know what? You're going to save a lot on clothes. I know that sounds so weird, but you're not going to spend all the money for all those layers, all those boots, all the rain gear, all the snow gear, all the hats, gloves, mittens. You're just going to have a lot of tank tops. I'm telling you, just reverse it. And that's what it's going to be like living in the Phoenix area. Let's talk about some of the other things that you guys have in Chicago that you're not going to experience here, and that's traffic. We don't have even a quarter of the traffic that you have. In fact, a lot of that has to do with your population is 4 times the amount of the greater Phoenix area, and we have more land and freeway system to grow into. So you just feel that space. I come from the Bay Area. I don't come from the big city area like San Francisco, but where I came from in San Jose, you could feel that. Like there's traffic, there's construction, there's congestions, there's lines at every single restaurant and Walgreens, wherever you were going, there's people. And just getting off the plane, I'm telling you, when you get here and you start looking around, you are just going to feel that stress roll off your shoulders. Not to mention, our entire community as a whole is a whole lot safer than Chicago. That's for sure. It is so refreshing to have the extra freeways, to have this massive urban sprawl. You just don't feel like you're on top of everyone. Now, here's another thing about the traffic. This is the bad part about Phoenix. If you don't have a car, you're gonna need one. That's a negative. I'm just going to tell you right now, our public transportation system, I almost didn't say that right, is no bueno. Like, I don't even want to, on a scale of 1 to 5, it's a 1. Like, if you don't have a car, you're going to need to invest in a car, or you're going to be spending a lot of money on Ubers and Lyft. We have also autonomous vehicles that have no human beings that drive in the area. We have quite a few of those. I know that's kind of creepy, weird. But our light rail system is still in the very, very beginning stages. And so if you live along the line or the bus line, you can definitely make it work. But I have to tell you, we are not a city that revolves around that public transportation system. So you're going to want to get a car. Now, the other positive part though about the car is you're not going to have toll roads. We don't have tollways. We don't have bridges. Many of our parking garages are free, and or you can get them validated if you use a local business. You also have a ton of street parking in every single city. So here's another thing. We don't really have a downtown. I mean, we do have a downtown Phoenix, but if you're coming from downtown Chicago, you're going to literally look around and go, this isn't a downtown. And we know that. Again, the greater Phoenix area is built on suburbs and just this urban sprawl. So when, one of the more common questions that I get from Chicagoans or Illinoisans when they move here is they say, show me the neighborhoods, tell me about all the different neighborhoods. And we don't really use that terminology here because we actually have cities that are sprawled outside of Phoenix. And so you're going to be looking in the city, and then you're going to look areas within the city. And then we have communities in the area, and then we have subdivisions in the communities, right? Like there's a serious breakdown here. Like there's a long tier. But when you're looking to buy a home and where a place to live, you don't usually have the cute little neighborhoods like you do in Chicago. Like, I love that. And you have that in San Francisco, you have that in New York City. You do not have that in the Phoenix area. There's maybe a handful, not even a handful of areas in downtown Phoenix, but to be honest with you, they're not really in downtown Phoenix. They're just in central Phoenix. So that whole city vibe of the massive skyscrapers and literally 100,000 people, I don't know how many people live in those buildings, but we don't have that here in the greater Phoenix area. In fact, we haven't really been selling a whole lot of vertical real estate for a whole long time. You do find some vertical, like if you really want to live in the mid-rise and high-rise buildings, there are certain parts of town that have those. Those areas are going to be like downtown Phoenix. Believe it or not, in Tempe and Scottsdale, there's also another financial district within the Phoenix area called the Biltmore area. Those are going to be the areas really where there are high rises. When you start really going out into the urban sprawl and you get into areas like Chandler and Gilbert and even Peoria and Goodyear and Litchfield Park, there are no high rises. So we just have that urban sprawl. Now, here's another thing that's really different. Again, looking at Chicago and even the suburbs, you guys have very, very large lots. We don't. And I really can't tell you why. When a lot of people here want to move into, let's say, a 2,000 square foot home, and then they say, I want to live on a half or a 3/4 acre, you're talking serious price. And depending on the city, or you're going really far out. The greater Phoenix area, if you look at the older part of the Phoenix area, and the older, by the way, was really in the 1950s, 1960s. In fact, the average home in the Chicago metro area is over 70 years old. That's your average. So that means that you have equally as more as you do less. Here in the greater Phoenix area, the average age of a home is only 30 years old. Even though we do have some older mid-century, a few turn of the century, maybe in central Phoenix, more mid-century, in the outlying suburbs, it's all been built in the last 30 years. So when you look at housing costs, let's jump straight to that. When you look at housing costs, it's not an apple for apple. And let's talk a little bit about that. First of all, I have to say the prices are pretty spot on. So if you live in a single family home, I'm not talking about condominiums in the downtown area, or flats or apartments, whatever you guys call them in Chicago, in the greater Phoenix area, when you're in the urban sprawl and you're looking at single family homes, the average, like I said, again, is about 30 years old. The median in our area right now in the greater Phoenix area is 430,000. It's very similar to the Chicago area, again, that median number. Now, let's just take a $500,000 home in Chicago. And even if I look in Naperville, which I guess is one of the more expensive and more prominent areas, a $500,000 home there is, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,000 square feet. That's very comparable to what we have out here. It's the same price. But here's what the difference is: property taxes. So property taxes on a $500,000 home, depending on, I hear that there's a lot, I don't know, there's something you guys have going on about property taxes is they automatically assess these really high property taxes, and then you got to challenge them and try and get them down. Okay, that doesn't exist out here. That's really interesting. It was interesting to learn about that. But on a $500,000 home, depending on what part of town you're looking at about $2,200 a year to $3,000 a year versus, like in Naperville, I was told like $19,000 a year. So your monthly cost for living in a $500,000 home in Naperville and a $500,000 home here in the greater Phoenix area, it looks like the same, but it's not. And let's talk about a lot of those other costs. So speaking of taxes, Chicago is rated the number 2 state in the country for state and local taxes. That's crazy. And you guys have the second highest property taxes in America. And based on some people that live in the area, they were also telling me, like, your sales tax is over 10%. And ours is about 8 depending on what part of the valley you're in, you're going to be looking at about 8.2 to 8.6. So you're saving money there. So that's going to save you on services and purchases. Think about your big purchases. Cars are going to be cheaper here. Getting your hair done is going to be cheaper. Food and drink. Now, I know Chicago is literally world-renowned culinary, but let me tell you, Arizona has been put on the map I'm going to say about 5 to 10 years ago. We really started to become quite the culinary scene. Now, do we have the diversity in food that you guys have there? No, I'm going to say some of the most really unique restaurants that you have there, like Armenian and maybe Russian and Pakistani, like all those very unique, charming restaurants, which, gosh, I know how a small mom and pop shop runs their business in Chicago is, I have much respect for you, because when I heard about the property taxes on commercial property, I was like, how do you operate? We actually have a super cute restaurant here in the Chandler area. They're from Chicago. They just said the taxes were absolutely killing them, and they're absolutely loving it out here. So as more and more people start moving from different parts of the world, and more specifically even Illinois, and they start opening up their different culinary cuisines, we'll start to see more. But let me tell you about our culinary cuisine. We have, of course, the most amazing Mexican restaurants in the entire world. We also have French cuisine. We also have, how about Southern? We have barbecue. We have Italian. We have Japanese. We have Chinese. We have Korean. Gosh, we even have amazing selection of bagels. We have breakfast restaurants. We have smorgasbords. We have smorgasbords at German restaurants. There is a lot more diversity than you think is in the greater Phoenix area. It's just not as plentiful. So I'm going to say food is still a choice in the greater Phoenix area, but it's not as plentiful as in Chicago. Now let's talk a little bit about diversity, because I have to tell you, one thing Chicago is really known for is for its diversity. We the greater Phoenix area, the new census is actually due to come out because the current information that you find online is over 10 years ago. 10 years ago, Phoenix is where the rest of the world was completely different, right? Not to mention, we've seen massive changes in just the last few years. But I have to tell you, there are certain parts of town that have amazing diversity, everything from all over the world. And a lot of this we have to account for is because of the technology industry and all the industries that are here in the greater Phoenix area. When you are looking for a land of opportunity, Phoenix is slated to be the #1 job creator in the entire country over the next 10 years. And we're talking high paying, we're talking bioscience, healthcare, IT, we're talking security, defense work, semiconductor. We have 2 massive chip manufacturing companies out here. Another one is coming, well, they're siting out the greater Phoenix area. I'm pretty sure we're going to become the chip capital of the world. We're already known as the Silicon Desert, second to only Silicon Valley in San Jose, California. We have so many technology jobs out here and people that are coming from all over the world. And so our communities are finally getting more diverse. There is a ton of different faith throughout the greater Phoenix area. And the communities here, the people are so friendly. Everyone helps everyone. They're completely blown away. And this is part of the reason why. And I don't want to make this all about politics, but let me point this out. Arizona is, although people will call it a purple state, compared to Chicago, so that you understand the difference. Chicago is Democrat 74% and Republican 21%. It is very one-sided. Here in the greater Phoenix area, Democrat, we have 45%. And Republican, we have 48%. And you're probably wondering why we say we're purple is because that independent is kind of what threw our state this last election. Now, I have to say, from living here and seeing people from all over the United States come here, the #1 thing everyone that's coming to Arizona says, I love how it's just not an issue. We are so middle of the road and just a little bit more Republican, but again, middle of the road, that our governor, especially right now, is giving all the people that live here our choice on how we choose to live our life. So if you want to wear a mask, you wear a mask. If you don't want to wear a mask, you don't wear a mask. And no one says anything to anyone else about it. Everyone seems to get along very well in the greater Phoenix area. And English is still the #1 language spoken, with Spanish being the second. And there's really just not a lot in #3 space. So we're working our way up to that diversity. So be a part of it. We love it. Welcome to Arizona. Come on in. All right, let's talk about with a few more things about the difference between living in Illinois and living in Arizona. Okay, so for those of you with families, first of all, we have safe communities. Well, let's just say safer communities. There's no such thing as absolutely safe. Although, let me just point out, Gilbert was rated the #2 safest community in the United States, right here in the greater Phoenix area. Now, if you are looking for that lower crime rate, but if that's something that's important to you, I assure you, if you're coming from Chicago, you're going to feel how different it is here in the greater Phoenix area. We also have a phenomenal airport. Now, I know Chicago's very central to the United States, but very central to what? I mean, yes, you're central to New York, and maybe kind of Florida, but let me tell you, if you want to get to a big city from the greater Phoenix area, you can still fly direct to New York from Phoenix. You can go back to Chicago, only a $200 round trip, by the way, from the greater Phoenix area. You can also fly directly to any coastal city, including Honolulu or Maui, directly from Phoenix. You can go internationally, you can go Mexico. I'm telling you, as southwest as we look, we're actually very central. If you want to go to Asia, if you want to go to Australia, I'm telling you, South America, Phoenix is an international airport and it's actually rather inexpensive. We actually have a smaller secondary airport that has some ridiculously low rates. And I love that airport, which is called the Mesa Gateway Airport. And it's like going back in time. Like it's a really small airport, and you can get in and out like no problem at all. Some of the other great things that we have as from being a family is schools. We have some of the best schools in the country, even though you're probably looking up, where is Arizona ranked on the school system in the entire United States? Well, you know what? We do have some older part of the communities that are mixed in with the newer part. So if schools are important to you, here's the best part. Here's the thing, just like Chicago. So when you want to check into schools, and this, now I get it. When I get people that call me from Illinois, they say, well, I want to live near great schools. That doesn't mean just one city. It doesn't mean even one part of town. It doesn't mean only private schools. It means we have 10 out of 10 schools rated all over the greater Phoenix area. You just got to know what areas to look in. So if schools are important to you, you're going to want to reach out to us, because it's not just one area like Illinois might seem to be. It seems like if you want to live in the really good school areas, you have to pay a lot of money. That's not the case here. You can get schools throughout the entire valley and almost at every price point. So you just need to connect with us, and you need to let us know what your priorities are. This is all about you. So you need to give us, safety, transportation, accessibility, freeways, schools, whatever's important to you. This is all about you. And we will help you narrow down the greater Phoenix area that is growing at massive amount of speed. It's insane. You're going to want to give us a call as early as possible, even a year or two in advance. We have a ton of new construction. I don't know about Chicago area. Do you guys have a lot of new construction? We have massive amounts of new construction out here. And let me tell you, the national builders are the ones you're going to want to go with, not these little onesie twosies. You want to make sure that you work with, again, a local area expert. Also, because we have great relationships with these builders, literally all over the valley. They are building houses as fast as they possibly can. And the problem is they have lotteries, they have interest lists, they have long waiting lists. And you're wasting time getting on those lists all by yourself. We can walk you in straight into the front door. Here's a great example. Just last week, we had a client that was told this one particular community was sold out. So we went down there to meet with our friends, and they happened to share with us that they had 7 homes they had not sold yet, and they would be more than glad to sell it to our clients. So working with an agent that has the relationships with the builders is the best way to go about it. Let me just be frank with you. When you're buying a home, at least in Arizona, I can't speak about real estate in any other state. In Arizona, the buyer does not pay for the realtor. The seller pays for it, whether it's the builder or the seller selling a resale property. So there really is no reason for a buyer, especially relocating from another area, to not use a realtor. And another big mistake is when you go online and you check the big guys, Redfin, Realtor.com, whatever your favorite Zillow is. The problem is when you're clicking on there, most of those agents are brand spanking new. It might say that it goes to John Smith, who has had, 500 Zillow, 5-star reviews, and they've been in the business for 20 years, and they're a Zillow Premier. And you know what? That guy, John, doesn't show properties anymore. It's all his new agents. So if you want to work with professionals, boots on the ground, living, working, playing, sleeping, selling in the greater Phoenix area, then we are the team for you to call. If you want to know what it's like to live in Arizona, give us a call. We'd be glad to answer any of your questions. And here's one more trivia. Did you know Arizona has their own time zone? That's another plus that you are going to love to enjoy. We don't have daylight savings time. All right, guys. We want to help you when you're moving to the greater Phoenix area. Pick up that phone, give us a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, go on Facebook, go on Instagram, however you want to get a hold of us. Do not wait. Send us your questions. Put comments down below. We want to make sure you get all the information you need when moving to the Phoenix area. All right, guys, until next time, be good, be kind, and we'll see y'all soon. Bye.